This is Dr. Troy Fullerton with Bilingual Barrier Busters. You know, there's a saying that says nothing begets success like success itself. And I think that is especially true when it comes to the process of acquiring another language. As you use the language and communicate in the language and find out that it's just kind of cool to be able to understand other people and make yourself understood in another language, and you start to rack up a series of successes with the language, that makes you want to have more of those successes. So it kind of feeds upon itself. Now, I still remember the very first time that I went out in public and overheard somebody say something in Spanish and understood that individual. I actually put up a previous video about this, but I put it up in Spanish, so let me explain it in English. I'd been studying Spanish at school, and I really wanted to learn Spanish. And I remember my dad and I going to a Mexican restaurant in Moline, Illinois. And we went in and everybody was speaking Spanish. I couldn't understand a word. I'm talking about the help now. They were all speaking to each other in Spanish. I couldn't make out anything, when I would hear that, and I wanted to be able to. But there's one thing I did understand. The waitress came out of the kitchen, and as I remember, she was carrying a bunch of food. And somebody from the kitchen said something to her. I have no idea what. And she flipped around and she said, "No tengo cinco manos." I don't have 5 hands. Obviously, it was a tense moment, but I understood her. I had just done something that probably not a single other white boy in the whole place could do. I understood something in Spanish. I had to go back and tell my Spanish teacher. I thought that was the coolest thing. And that was just a simple thing. That was only the very beginning, but it was exciting. So that brings me to my topic tonight. How do you make Spanish your own? How do you make new vocabulary your own? When you hear something and understand it, when you run across something and learn how to use it, how do you turn around and make that a part of your own repertoire? Well, here's how. Find an excuse to use what you just heard or just learned in your own expressions. I mean, make something up. Put yourself in a situation with somebody where you have to actually use those words in writing, in speaking, somehow where you have to use them to express yourself. Now, a question and answer forum like Quora, for example. I've mentioned Quora before. It's got a Spanish version. You can read the questions at leisure and try your hand at answering some of them. But back to my topic, use what you're learning as quickly as you can in your own expressions.